So for me, AI actually has helped me to accelerate, my product discovery process. So what I mean by that is that as a AI product manager in Malaysian, I usually work with data scientists. That's the people that I work with day to day, and so oftentimes we have a lot of data-related questions coming from either stakeholders or for myself, like asking about how are things going, and there are certain things, certain initiatives that I wanted to run that I wanted to ask about with my data scientists, right? So before AI, I would pass all these questions along to the data scientists to ask them to help me answer all these questions. But with AI right now, what I could do right now is that I could take some of the very complex SQL queries that my data scientist has created, and I could just paste it into ChatGPT to explain to me what is going on in these SQL queries. And then using that understanding, I could then make tweaks to it, right, to answer some of my questions or external stakeholders' questions there. And so with that, I actually, able to increase the team's productivity by doing that, taking on most of these, small little pieces of work and leaving them to do more of the meaningful tasks, right, more interesting, impactful initiative, right. So other than that, one of the key initiatives that I recently ran, what I did through my product discovery process is I actually estimated the impact, so one of the few metrics we look at it, and then being able to prioritize the tasks before saying that, hey, these are the things that are really important, really key thing that will push our product metrics. And yeah, so that's how it actually helped me as a product manager AI product manager in my life. So the way that my current company, the way we use AI, I think it's generally a good way of using AI, using ChatGPT itself. We even have a ChatGPT enterprise in our organization itself. But I just wanted to say that in my past experience, I've actually seen what I call the pitfall of using AI in work. So basically, what my experience is basically they use AI to what I call accelerating junk features in Feature Factory. So Feature Factory, if you know, is a term coined by Marty Kagan. So basically means companies that are stakeholder driven, and your job is to just churn out features after features, and really don't care about the outcome, just output, just ship. So before AI, what these companies would do, at least for my experience, is that the stakeholder will give you a requirement, PM will groom the ticket, and then we'll put it into scope it out basically, and then put it into a story ticket, and then basically give it to the developers in the sprint, right? So that's the usual flow. But from my experience with ChatGPT, when ChatGPT was created, the birth, I actually saw that the stakeholder actually look at all the competitors we have, and say what are the features that they have, and afterwards, then they would create. So ChatGPT spit out all the features that all these competitors has, right? And then he would then ask create a story ticket for me, and then all this story ticket came up, and then it's like, okay, this is all well groomed now. Let's pass it to the developers and let's go pass. So yeah, so that was my experience. It was a very shocking experience for me, and so basically, what is the pitfall there, right? It's basically you are basically producing something that you have not validated whether it has value or not. Customer won't be using it, and it's measured yet customers aren't using it. Increased costs, you are hiring more labor, the technical debt has increased, and then you have no business impact. Doesn't bring any revenue to a company. So that is the real pitfall in product management I see using AI. So of course AI is part of what we do, but in general, what I do as an AI product manager is that in our product we have AI PM, which is me, and we have a product manager. He's here also. So basically, what's the difference between us is that I primarily work with data scientists, and he primarily work with the designers, the developers, and the QA testers, right? So So if you see the team composition between both of us is very different. So if let's say, basically what I do is that you need, the characteristic of the AI PM is that you need to be like more analytical thinker, because you are working with data a lot, you're thinking and validating the ideas. And also you are doing a lot of experiments, experimentation is on you. You are trying to learn a lot about your customers. And then you need to be very sensitive about bias, right? Because you're trying to imply causality and you're trying to estimate, what is the impact of what are the different initiatives that we do. And sometimes we really do use AI to build as a feature in our product, but we don't do it a lot of the time. Why is that the case? It's because we usually use like quick prototyping, simple algorithm to prove our hypothesis first that we have learned by looking at the data. And then when we think we are confident in investing time and effort into it, that's when machine learning and AI come into play in delivering that feature, delivering value to our customers. So what AI really allows us to do is to rapidly scale our experimentation, rapidly go for optimization for us, and then do personalization for us that software development couldn't do. That's why you need machine learning at those times. So I think that's really the difference between AI PM and PM.
Could I put you in the spot? Sure. Yeah. Okay. For non-technical people, what does that mean? Like, one or two sentences.
What does that mean? Basically, I work with data, and product manager work on delivery of whatever we think that we. How do I put it?
I think I'm getting it. Okay, let me try this. Right. So a product manager delivers things that the end user will use. Right. So your app, your web, whatever that is. But what you're working on is actually like the data engine or the data model that actually provides the intelligence behind the application.
That's true. All right. Yeah. Yes, correct. Yeah, correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have a job for me?
A lot of context about what we are trying to achieve in whatever that we are trying to do. So it will take a lot of time for us to actually pour out to give enough context for it to generate high quality enough output that we could use directly. So that's for me is the biggest piece. Is just miss the context on a lot of things.